finally, last but not least, Professor Saula Milčiuvienė from Vytautas Magnus University in Lithuania will close the session with a presentation titled From Interconnections to Interoperability, the Regulatory Dimensions of the Baltic States Electricity Grid, offering insights into regional cooperations and integrations. Professor, the floor is yours.
So, good afternoon. I am really very pleased to be in this conference. It's already my second time. And looking at the theme of a conference, I was working energy transition. So what is the topic? What it means energy transition? So I thought, okay, it can be technological, it can be organizational, let's say companies from monopoly to the competition, it can be from coal to the renewable, and so many topics. And thinking about it, that I understand that maybe for every region, the energy transition means a little bit different. Let's say, coming here to Poland, I understand that mining is a huge issue. Because in Lithuania, we do not have mines. So for me, it's not, for Lithuanian politics, it's not a big issue. It's never mentioned in our energy strategy and so on. So here I want to present the hugest transition in Lithuanian electricity system. And I just want to show an example how the chosen way, because our first presenter was talking about the crossroads. So it means that in energy sector we choose to go or are forced to go one way, and how long it can take to change. And here, from this historical already example, we also can think about our new issues, let's say hydrogen, green hydrogen. We are now putting a huge money to green hydrogen to demo sites. However, it's the question, do technology are really so mature? Because the price of green hydrogen is really very high now. The second issue, CO2 capturing and geological storage. What is really? Do we need to capture, or maybe this money is better to invest in energy efficiency questions? So here it's just the questions which has to be answered and the decisions should be made. But here my example of Lithuania, and here it's the why I shouldn't to decided to show it, because it took 35 years to connect from Russian-Belarusian grid to European grid. You can imagine only almost half of a century. Being an independent state, we were fully included in Russian and Belarusian electricity system. And my question was, why so long? And one of my just presentation aim is to show why, and to look at the political documents, at the physical changes, why really 35 years we were in Russian electricity grid. And you know, it's not now a question about the energy, about this geopolitical issues. You know, we have not only problem with energy, we have also problem with rails. Maybe you have heard that now it's usual thing that Vilnius airport is shut down because of drones, because of some balloons, and so on. And we have only one train per day going to Poland. So it means that the connection with Western Europe is absolutely shut down when these two main airports, Vilnius and Kaunas, is shut down because of balloons and drones. And even flying here to the Katowice, I was sitting 1 hour in the plane, because drone was circling according Vilnius airport. So it's the question of infrastructure. Here, grids, it's also a question of infrastructure. And it's why? Why 35 years? And what we did. So first I will look a little bit about the physical changes, then I will go to the energy strategies, and I look how in the political will was expressed the desynchronization from Russian grid and then to the future perspective. So what we did in order to disconnect from Russian-Belarusian grid, of course, it was domestic infrastructure, and it was not the hardest part. Then we had interconnections. First, our interconnection was with Poland, 2015, the second with Sweden. And these interconnections, we already had lines, but the problem was that it was working according different standards, and we do not have synchronizations. And of course, we already also installed some batteries for security issues and for energy storage. Yes, market liberalization was funny issue in Lithuania. Why? Because we know all these electricity liberalization laws, it was, if I'm not mistaken, in 1996 first directive on electricity market liberalization. And of course, lawyers was very happy to introduce new laws about electricity market. But what market if we have no real interconnection? If 70% of electricity after shutdown of nuclear power plant was coming from Belarus. So what electricity market can be? So we were just, how to say, playing electricity market. And now looking at the strategies, I'm sorry. So here our energy strategies, how they were enacted, and what we said about the connection to European grid. So I made a thematical analysis, and tried to look to 4 main questions. How we are in our strategy. So first, interconnection, so it means physical lines. When it was related to infrastructure, also the electricity market, and fourth, desynchronization. So these 4 main questions and how we were just discussed in our energy strategy. So of course, the aim of electricity market was very easy in law and so on, and in 2000 years we can already see them. But looking to the energy infrastructure, we can say that till 2007 the energy strategies were mainly focusing on inner infrastructure and not paying much attention to the connection. After 2007, it's a breaking point. Already we are talking about the interconnections, and we have already at 2015 interconnection with Poland, then with Sweden. And here we are going to desynchronization. Desynchronization is our aim only from 2012. So for me it's the question, why so long we do not have so well explored political will to desynchronize? And then going further, what's next? What's next? Now we have already synchronized grids, but now we have another issues. But here we are already with all European Union. Interoperability. A new term, a data interoperability. It means that if we have different data from different devices, we have to be able to make one set of data. However, as now was talking from the distribution system operators, they said we have basically 16 type of smart meters, and data from them is not interoperable. So it means we need a standardization to make able this data interoperable. Why we need? Because these data are needed to train the artificial intelligence systems. Because only when data is a lot of data, we can have this system trained. And what is the next? What is the next issue? So I hope maybe someone already saw in the last month, in October 8th, the European Commission adopted new strategy for AI and for energy sector. So the main developments is new system for the optimizing energy grids, then developing a standards documentation, and also established a trust in AI system. Of course, about AI, there are many discussions how really we can use them for critical infrastructure, but the main issue that if they work, they can really help a lot. And here I think that European Union is a little bit under the pressure from China, from United States, because if we fail to adapt them, we can really leave far behind. So mainly my presentation is about Lithuania and just showing that first we were building physical interconnection, and now having it, we already with all European Union talking about data interoperability and artificial intelligence systems. Thank you very much.